everyone, welcome back to my channel The Vagabond. So today's food for thought is reincarnation. So I know it's been a long time. I have not uploaded a video for my late night paranormal sessions. I hope you remember you have enjoyed my last session on the ghosts and the paranormal theories about ghosts. So after I was actually busy, caught up in stuff, and so I thought of coming up today with a new topic, something interesting and something that you have to think about after watching this video, maybe. So today's food for thought is reincarnation. Now, I hope everybody knows what reincarnation means. It's like, you know, life after death, and another life, a new life after death. And so I hope everybody is acquainted with the term reincarnation. In case you're not, then let me just briefly define what's reincarnation. Reincarnation is being reborn, reborn. To be honest, we have no proof for reincarnation. We have people, those who believe strongly in reincarnation, but we do not have any scientific evidence for it as of now. But then there are these strange occurrences that happen once in a while, and we get to hear people, or I mean, it's mostly and it's majorly all the recorded evidences are children of a certain age, or rather up to a certain age, like 6 to 7 years at max, or maybe 8. They come up with stories about their past lives. They are like, I was born in some country, and I was into some war, or I was murdered. I have this mark in my elbow here. That's because I was, hit with some object in a past life there, and etc. etc. It goes on. So there are these stories, very weird and unnatural stories. But then people, some don't actually pay attention to them. Some think that they are just children making up stories, and as people do, it's like a childish thing that every children has. They like to make up stories and stuff. But then there are some parents who actually take these stories seriously, and then they go in search of the truth. Like maybe some children speaks of some place, and speaks of certain incidents that had happened in his past life, and he goes there, and his parents actually go there and check out the evidence. And there are times when they actually find out those things to be true. So now, what could those things be actually? Means those are not hoaxes or any kind of fraudulent attention grabbing incidents, because those are done by children, and children generally of 7 to 8, or maybe even less than that, years of age. So as those children, they grow, they come into adulthood, young age, they actually get rid of those memories, probably because they do not speak of those past life incidents. But when they're a child, when it is especially during this span of 6 to 8 years, this is a time when children actually learn by seeing and observing, and this is the time when actually they start storing information and start learning things. As the years pass by and they grow older, by that time their brain has already stored enough data to suppress the past life memories, maybe, and that is why they cannot recollect it. But then there may be some sort of, maybe a dream, a sudden dream, or maybe some sort of weird similar incident might bring up that memory out of the old trash can once again, and you remember some sort of incident. You might not remember it's from the past life, but you remember some incident, some situation that you have been into. So how can we explain all these things, these stories that we hear? The reason why people do not call them as hoaxes or fraudulent incidents, because these are majorly by children, and children generally will have new means children of this age, 6 to 8 years, this span of age, they will not have the idea of doing a hoax or some fraudulent thing. So why come up with such memories and stories, and sometimes which are even actually you know can be cross-checked and verified, and they actually come out true. What is this reincarnation thing? So in today's session, I'll try to provide you a logical explanation uh, to what I think a reincarnation could be. So this explanation doesn't prove that I actually believe in reincarnation, and you should even believe in reincarnation, or this explanation will not even try to disprove that there is nothing called reincarnation. It's a hypothesis, it's a simple idea that might be true, that might not even be true, but actually give us a food for thought. According to me, human souls are a form of energy, and once they are released, or actually they get rid of the physical form, they are free to go anywhere. What if they can get another physical form when a child is in the womb, and maybe slowly as the child is growing, a soul is actually taking that physical form inside the womb, and when a child is born, it's the same soul born in a new body. Maybe it will, or it is bound to have a new experience, this time a new life, because the memories or the experience from the brain of the spiritual body, are as also known as the para brain. The transfer from there to the human physical brain is not very efficient. It's only some part of the data is transferred to the human brain, and as humans start growing from once they're born, so till the age of 6, 7, or 8 at max, maybe they still have those small handful of information of vision, or vision of all the past life experience that has been transferred from their para brain or spiritual brain. And maybe they are that is what this child speaks about as his past life experience. But then as we keep growing, as this child keeps growing and on, these small handful of memories are they're suppressed, and these are like uh, overloaded with newer experiences, and these past memories actually are buried deep down beneath all our new life experiences, and that is why we don't remember them once we are pretty much adult and old enough. But then some sort of hypnotic session, or maybe a dream might bring back those memories, pull them out of the grave. But that is one thing, because we might not realize that where did those visions, or where did those dreams come from. Let's say you take a piece of paper and you write a word on it, or maybe you write a name on it, and then you take another pen, a different color ink maybe, and write a different name on it, this time on the same piece of paper. So now can you read the first time whatever you wrote, can you read the name? Maybe you can, but it's still little clumsy now. And then you continue this experiment every time, writing out with a new pen, or maybe a little bolder on the same piece of paper, or writing out a different name. After like um, doing continuing this process for 8 or 9 times, can you actually remember Or can you actually make out on the ninth time what you had written on the eighth time, the name that you had written on the eighth time? Let's forget about what you had written the first time. Can you actually make out the word that you had written on the first, second, third, eighth, anything? Can you? Maybe you can make out parts of the word, maybe a little small alphabet, or maybe a edge of an alphabet. Only you can make out those parts, and obviously you can make out the latest part. Although the latest, the ninth time, the last time, is also pretty much clumsy. That is the reason why we are so much confused, maybe to today in today's day. But still, you can make out the ninth time as you have freshly written on it. But can you dare to actually make out what you had written on the seventh time? Forget the part that you remember what you had written. Just try to make it out from what's actually there in the paper. Can you do it? You can't. Maybe you had written it with a different ink, and you can make out a small part of the alphabet, or maybe a small single alphabet out of the entire word. So now what you have to do is you have to follow that trail of that ink and try to make out that entire word. So this small part of the alphabet, or this alphabet that you can make out, are like those memories and dreams that has been transferred to you, from your para brain or spiritual brain to your physical brain. And these are the parts that these dreams, that vision, these memories, these are those that suddenly pops up in your mind, in your dream, maybe, or maybe suddenly just sitting blank and you have this vision. So these small parts of the world now are like the small memories and dreams from your past life, and then you have to follow the trail very minutely to actually make out the entire scenario, whatever this past life is trying to tell you, or is trying to make you remember once again who you were, you know, once upon a time. Every time there is a transfer of these memories from one brain to another, there is a loss of data. So that is the reason why we don't remember maybe what we were actually from the start to the end. We only have small glimpse, that also only for some lucky people, not every one of us. In some cases, the entire thing is lost, or maybe it's not lost, it's just deep down buried, which we can't make out or which we can't dig it out. Maybe with proper meditation, and when we are awake, our soul is awake, we are we are conscious about this spiritual awakening that we have. Maybe at that time we can actually dig deep into our brain and actually bring out all these memories from the past life. So that is what I think about the reincarnation. So maybe that is how reincarnation and past life and memories of the past life work. So let me know, guys, if you find this thing, if you find this theory plausible, and if you like it. So I'll try to come up with something new again on my next session. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Till then, goodbye.